Ladies and gentlemen, this is an emergency episode of Marketing Mondays, not on a Monday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the $10 million studio. Today we're talking about Burger King. They just tweeted out a Whopper. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? Here it is, guys. And I'm going to warn you right now. Cover your ears, cover your eyes if you don't want to see pure sexism. Women belong in the kitchen. Guys, I know, I can't believe it. They've been hiding in front of us this whole time. Except when you click on it, it was actually supposed to be like an oopsie gotcha. Like, oops. We actually want to draw awareness to the fact that only 20% of chefs are women. And we want to give away scholarships. Now, what does this have to do with Marketing Mondays? Here's the deal. If you're going to craft an offensive tweet, right? Your strategy better be, hey, people might see it and react to it. You craft the first tweet, like it's not like you didn't have room under the fold to explain like in the first tweet that it's a joke. Instead, you craft the first tweet to be incendiary. And when people get upset, what do you think you're supposed to do? Well, it would seem like if this was your strategy, you would just sort of be like, oh, we're sparking a conversation. We're kind of based, right? We're edgy. We're edgy Burger King now. I guess that's the direction they seem to want to go. That could be a strategy. At least it's a strategy. Instead, they do this weird thing where it seemed like they were going in this direction, and then they pivot in the middle of the day to this. We hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong, and we're sorry. Oh yes, the apology's coming out. Now let me tell you why this is stupid. You knew that you were going to tweet something offensive. People got upset, right? Because it's an offensive tweet. It sounds terrible, whatever. It's also kind of fun. Like I first saw it. I was shocked. I clicked on it because I was like, no way. That's got to be a hack. And then I kind of laughed because I saw what they were doing. And I was like, well, that's kind of cheesy. That's kind of dumb. Whatever. I saw people were getting upset. I knew, because if you tweet that, people will get upset. That's what happens. And that's obviously their strategy was like, we're going to create some controversy. We're going to be spicy Burger King today. We're going to put some spice on the menu. We're going to be Flavor Town, baby.
Are we in Flavor Town right now?
I'm at Customs. Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Okay, you got some flavor. You got your flavor. Now stick to your guns. Even if your guns are, well, we were just kind of like, you know, being a little bit edgy, whatever. Nobody really cares. It's a Burger King. Nobody goes to Burger King for their opinion on women. Everyone knows you go to Burger King for a heart attack. That's the way it is, and it's the way it always has been. Ever since I've been a young boy, it's like, do you want to go to Burger King? Oh, yeah, I actually wanted a triple bypass today. That's fine. That's what we all do. It's what we all know. For Burger King to be like, we're going to be edgy and then go, we're sorry. How can you be sorry for getting what you want? I just have no respect for this. I mean, I'm not saying I approve of any part of their marketing strategy, but this is a non-strategy, which is we decided to delete the original tweet after our apology. It was brought to our attention that there were abusive comments in the thread, and we don't want to leave space open for that. Hey, Burger King, if you didn't want to leave space open for people responding to women belong in the kitchen, you shouldn't have said women belong in the kitchen. I don't know, maybe just a thought. I love how they're like, we couldn't believe that there were offensive comments underneath there. It's like, yeah, you did it. People are dunking on you, and what's the deal here, bud? This had to be approved by like 10 different people. You don't look, normally I get it. There are interns running all these accounts. It's like this dystopia where it's like 15-year-olds running Wendy's. I understand that. I'm not an idiot. But in the case of like, you don't just tweet women belong in the kitchen unless you're ready to, you have a marketing strategy. And that was clear because they rolled out a sponsorship or a scholarship with it. But my point is this was planned. It was calculated. It probably ran past like 8 different board members. And you know these people are sitting at a round table. What's the worst that can happen? How could you be shocked? You already consider the worst can happen is like it goes viral and people are mad. I actually understand 0% of this, which is why it's going on as on Marketing Mondays as what not to do. Listen, there are a lot of marketing strategies, but the strategies all involve commitment. If you're going to be a company that's like really into political issues, you want to be Ben and Jerry's, that's your thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your thing though. If you want to be like, hey, we're just corporate. We're just hella corporate. Everything is like minimalistic design. We just don't have a soul. That's fine. Don't pretend you're anything you're not. You commit to whatever your marketing strategy is, you commit. And for sure what you do, even if you're going to pivot, you don't let everyone know that because then you just look weak. Your brand looks out of control. Commit to the strategy. And I know it's like hard. You're taking heat on social media. I get it. Everyone thinks you're a clown. that could be the start of your rebrand, right? You want to be Edgy Burger now, Edgy Burgers, whatever. I just don't see how they could have not thought this through, because I know how these companies work. They hire whole PR firms, whole marketing teams. By the way, like 50 people's heads are going to roll for this. But they hire whole marketing teams to approve this stuff. And they go, look, we've done the studies. Everyone thought this, whatever, we're fine. And then to back down within a day, when they probably planned this thing out, by the way, for like 3 months. They were like, dude, we're going to get them on International Women's Day. They're not going to know what hit them. Well, I'll tell you who didn't know what hit them. It was Burger King. You really just like kind of like lose both people who support you when you back down this quickly. And by the way, like I want to be clear on this, because I'm not saying nobody can get things wrong and realize they're wrong. But what I am saying, so I want to be clear about this. They got the reaction they were planning to get. That's so important. It wasn't like they released the tweet and then someone goes, oh my God, we worded the tweet wrong. I can't believe it was interpreted this way. They had the exact interpretation. This is so stupid. They got the exact interpretation and reaction they wanted and drafted the tweet to get. And then we're like, wow, this is way too much. We've got to apologize and backtrack. That's what I'm trying to say. They knew how it would be interpreted. But I knew Burger King was out to lunch, because I was like, dude, we've got to do some investigation. This is the internet detective here. And I realized, I saw their tweet. I kept reading, and I got a read of the room. And I realized, oh, these guys really don't know what's going on. And they're saying, now more than ever, we believe that fresh, good quality food is vital to the quality of our lives. I was one sentence in, and I said, oh, you're delusional. You're not a Michelin star restaurant. You're a Burger King. And they're like, good for the planet, good for people, good for guests, good for communities, animal welfare. Burger King, that's cool. You're none of those things. You're the guys who invented the chicken fries. Nothing about this is good for humans, animals, the community. You probably had to dig up an oil well in the Marianas Trench to find oil thick enough to coat these fries. I mean, my point is that this is such a great example of what not to do. And I know they're getting attention for this either way. And you could say like, well, even the apology is part of the PR. It's not. They look really weak here. If you're going to be spicy, you got to be prepared for people to say, hey, that's a little too hot. We don't like that. Otherwise, stay in the mild section. Stay in the mayo. That's what I do. Listen.
Guys, I have a confession to make. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Caleb Maddox is right. YouTube automation is
the greatest opportunity of our era.
And I'm going to tell you why I think that. Have I changed my mind on Caleb Maddox's course at all? No. However, I saw the light with Andre, a financial YouTuber who's really blown up. And he used to be a magician, but now he teaches personal finance. And if that confuses you, welcome to the club. But here I am, a chemical engineer talking about fake gurus. So fair enough, that's fine. I'm not mad at him for going from card master to financial whiz. In fact, I find him pretty entertaining, to be honest. I think he makes some really compelling content.
I have a problem. I'm a financial minimalist, which means I like to save money.
But I just want to really highlight how brilliant this automation process he's implemented here is. He's YouTube automated the research process, which is just incredible. At least for this video we're going to talk about today. Today we're talking about Andre's video called 10 Highest Paying Jobs You Can Learn Without College. And it has 1 million views. Okay, it's one of the biggest videos on his channel. And in it, he is going to tell us, how to make $75,000 or more. But recently a viewer tipped me off that maybe Andre didn't do so much research himself. Maybe he was relying on someone else. So someone sent me this Make It article. They wish to remain anonymous. It was a CNBC Make It article called The 10 Highest Paying Jobs You Can Get Without a College Degree. All pay more than $79,000. Which, is similar. But that doesn't mean anything, okay? When we go on, we find that actually Andre has automated really nicely here. He's really implemented the Caleb Maddox visionary process, right? We're not gurus anymore, we're visionaries. And what would a visionary do? You automate your research. Research is one of the most time-consuming parts of a YouTube channel, guys. It's hard to do good research. So why not steal it, right? Why not steal it? Let me give you a little thought experiment. Look, the reason you get credit as a YouTuber when you do a video, part of it is, your presentation, but part of it is your research. If you're a finance guy, it's because you're a whiz with all the facts. You're aware of all the facts. You've done your own research. But again, that's the most time-consuming part. So how about instead we automate it? And that's exactly what Andre Jick did. Now, I understand if you're a little skeptical of my claim here, but let me build a case for you. So first of all, we have the order and the jobs that he lists, okay? Because Andre Jick gives the following list. CNBC gives that exact list. Number 10, media and communication equipment workers.
Media and communication equipment workers.
Number 9, power plant operators.
Number 9, power plant operators.
Number 8, elevator installers and repairers.
Number 8, elevator peeps.
Number 7, powerhouse, substation, and relay electrical and electronics repairers.
And number 7, powerhouse, substrain, and electrical and electronic repairer.
Number 6, detective or criminal investigators. Number 5, commercial pilot. Number 5, commercial pilot. Number 4, power distributors and dispatchers. Number 3, first-line supervisors of police and detectives. And number 3, first-line supervisors of the police. Number 2, nuclear power reactor operators. Number 2, nuclear power plant operators.
Number 1, transportation, storage, and distribution managers.
And the number 1 job on this list is transportation, storage, and distribution managers.
He automated it. But maybe you're not convinced. You say, Stephen, maybe they were just looking at the same Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you'd get that impression. Because while CNBC says they analyze their own data, and Andre Jick, he has a similar thing. He cites the Bureau of Labor Statistics. He went in straight to the Bureau and crunched his own numbers. He crunched his own numbers. Yes, he did. Or at least that's what he wants you to believe. But when we go closer into the exact language that Carrie Ann Renzulli uses when describing these jobs, she's the one who actually wrote the article back in April, we find that Andre uses very similar language on the video he made in November, right? And remember, does Andre cite CNBC? Does he say, hey guys, I got all this research from CNBC? No, he never cites them. Because that would defeat the point of taking credit for someone else's work. So check it out. Here's a few examples of things that he took straight from the CNBC Make It article that he never cites, and he directly says them as if he researched it himself, and he actually just knows this off the top of his head, because yeah, he's that kind of guy. He just knows this stuff.
Maintain and distribute the electricity amongst all the generators, and they also control the flow and the voltage of electricity to meet consumer demand depending on the time of day. But you will need a 4-year apprenticeship program, which is usually sponsored by either a contractor, a union, or an industry association. Specialize in inspecting, maintaining, and repairing electrical equipment of the power stations. To become one, though, is not particularly easy because you do need a high school diploma, and a lot of employers do want to see some courses in electronics, whether that's from a community college or from a tech school, and you will usually start out as an electrician to get some experience first.
All this reminds me of like a word. It's like a word for this. I don't know. I was thinking automation, but is that right? Siri, define plagiarism.
Plagiarism means the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's automation.
These guys control the flow of electricity by maintaining the transformers, the converters, and the circuit breakers. And you only need a high school diploma as well as a certification from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation's System Operator Certification Program. These guys control the control rods that generates the electricity. They monitor the turbines and the cooling systems to go along with it.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. You got to admire the hustle. You got to admire the hustle. This guy, he wants to establish himself as a finance guru. And how are you going to do that? By reading. How are you going to do that? By doing your own research. You have to take credit for what other people do. Look, guys, I'm telling you. I mean, in the past, I've always, tried to tell people where I get my ideas from and, get them from a variety of sources. But in the future, I'm just going to take books like this, The Person in the Situation. Great social psychology book. Have any of you read it? No. So I probably could just summarize it for you and say that I did the research, and you guys would probably believe me. And then I could take all the credit. And then I could be the guru. I mean, you really have to hand it to this guy. He's got a good hustle going on. And if you don't believe it's making him money, oh, it's making him a killing. He's got a Patreon where people pay him $18,000 per month to get up to date, his stock picks, because, he's the guy who does his own research. Honestly, the people I feel bad for are people like Carrie Ann Renzulli, who's writing this article, doing all this research. Do you think she got 1 million views? Not a chance. She did all the research, but people like Andre, they can just come and get easy pickings, right? They can learn the thing, not give credit, pretend like they had this idea themselves, retitle the video to be almost identical to the article. Sounds good. And look, guys, I'm not going to pretend Andre's the only guy who does this. A lot of people do it. Like I said, I like his content. He didn't do the research for this video, and I think that's a problem. I mean, and the fact that he doesn't cite the article once, not in the description, not in the video itself, is insane to me. The funny thing is he mentioned CNBC.
But CNBC actually did a profile about 2 weeks ago about exactly this guy, and he's earning $220,000 per year.
But he never mentions the actual article he took all his information from. And not only that, he also, the part where he lists the Bureau of Labor of Statistics for the jobs drives me up the wall. Because what it's trying to imply is, oh, yeah, I did this research. Look at me. I'm in the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. I'm in the .gov. I'm deep in the .gov doing my own research here. When in reality, he's ripping off Carrie Ann Renzulli. Sucks. Sucks to be a writer right now. You're basically a script writer for all these YouTubers who are going to take all your ideas and research. That's tough. It's tough. Anyway, that's a little quick one. I'm going to change everything I'm doing. Caleb Maddox was right. I've just got to say it. This is clearly the way to get things done, and I'm changing everything about my operation here. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this has just been an awakening for me. Amazing stuff. I've got to stop doing so much research. I mean, I'm wasting my time. Honestly, I should be like Andre. I'll get 1 million views and have $18,000 in Patreon support. I'll be able to produce a lot more videos too, actually, if I just make an article into a whole video, never give credit. Oh man, automating the research process. I can't believe I never thought of it. Caleb Maddox is a visionary. He sees into the future. This is our future. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just a little quick one for you, for the boys. Click subscribe if you're in the visionary gang. And
Well, it's finally over. Logan Paul apologized.
Coffeezilla, you're slimy as He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
Oops, wrong video. That was the first response. He actually apologized in another response.
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little annoying gnat. It bothers me. The defamation lawsuit, that is happening because this is wrong. This is wrong.
Hold on, wait a second. That's not it either. Turns out it's actually on his secondary channel. That's why I couldn't find it. It's entitled, Thank You, Coffeezilla. It's the third response from Logan Paul, and it's a pretty big change in Logan's attitude so far. So let's see what he has to say to us.
Coffeezilla is not a criminal.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought Logan was going to hire me. But in all seriousness, this video does have some major admissions in it I want to go through. For one, Logan apologizes to me.
I called him. I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire and ego.
Not only that, Logan also pledges a $1.3 million refund plan for people who bought his NFTs.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
In addition to that, he also promises to finish CryptoZoo, which was left abandoned.
And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper.
Now, I'll be honest, this is a big change in tone, and honestly, a lot of this is good news. It's great that victims are going to get something back. Logan seems to acknowledge his continuous lapse in judgment. He's not suing me, which is also cool. And frankly, this new response is just way better than his last two. I think we can all acknowledge that, while also acknowledging that it's not really a perfect response either. There are still major problems here. Like, for example, many of the victims just have been ignored in this response. A lot of accusations have gone unanswered, and worse, Logan still seems to be playing the victim a lot. So in this video, I'm gonna do my best to give Logan credit where credit is absolutely due, while also sharing moments where I think this apology fell flat. And let me start with a positive. For example, I think if you are an outsider who is not affected by this scam and you wanted a reason to love Logan Paul again, I think this nails it. I mean, he's giving back some of the money, he's apologizing. So if you're a card-carrying member of the Low Gang, you can rest easy here. Logan says he's sorry, he says he's making things right, and I think that's the point of this video, is to speak to his core audience, to tell them he didn't scam anyone, and for what it's worth, I think Logan succeeds here. The problem is, I don't think I or the CryptoZoo holders were who Logan was really addressing here. And this is where the response falls more flat, because he doesn't adequately address the real victims of CryptoZoo, which I think they're rightfully angry about. And I wanted to spend some time talking about that because, again, they've been the heartbeat of this whole story, and they feel very differently about this response than Logan's core audience does. They don't feel like it's enough. And I want to talk about why. Starting with the $1.3 million repayment plan, because obviously this is the strongest part of Logan's entire response, actually opening up his wallet. And I don't want to minimize that in this video. I just do want to put it in context, because $1.3 million is a lot of money. Unfortunately, the scam was much bigger than $1.3 million. So the fact is, most victims are not going to be made whole by this plan. Just in Zoo Coins alone, blockchain evidence shows $7.7 million was stolen by Logan's team, depending on who you believe. And this refund does nothing for those victims. It doesn't even apply to the holder of Zoo Coins at all. You get nothing if you bought this in-game currency. This refund only applies to current egg holders. So they can cash out that NFT for the initial mint price in crypto, which matters sort of because crypto has crashed a lot. So even though people spent $2.5 million on these eggs, in order to refund all these holders at mint price, it now only costs $1.3 million in today's money, which again is nice, but doesn't do enough because the Zoo Coins were most of this scam. I mean, that's where most of the money was spent. It wasn't just on the NFTs. It was on this in-game currency, which Logan seems to have no intention of refunding. And his response for why is pretty bad. He responds to somebody who lost $80,000 who told him, "I hope this isn't just doing what you have to do technically to not get sued." Logan replies with a screenshot of his white paper and later explains to another member of the Discord, "I believe there has been a misconception here. As outlined in the white paper, Zoo was created to support CryptoZoo and was not intended to be an investment vehicle. When you sold or bought is not my decision." And look, to be fair to him, there was a misconception that Zoo was an investment vehicle, but it's a misconception that he created. I mean, he's the one who said CryptoZoo was a fun game that earned you money, and how it earned you that money was that your NFTs earned you Zoo tokens. You know, things that were supposed to have value. That was the whole point of the game. So to suggest that these coins weren't advertised as valuable or an investment vehicle is insane, especially since Logan's own team had rules for selling based strictly on the value of said investment vehicle. Quote, rules for selling, no selling until a $200 million market cap. So I think it's fair to say if Logan's own team were buying Zoo Coins early, waiting for them to go up in value to a certain level and then selling them, that sounds like an investment vehicle, albeit a very stupid one. So this explanation definitely doesn't hold water, and Logan obviously just doesn't want to be on the hook for Zoo Coins. Instead, he just kind of wants to refund the much smaller part of the NFTs. What makes this even worse is that this refund doesn't even apply to everyone who bought these NFTs, because some of these people sold their NFTs at a deep loss thinking that CryptoZoo was over, that it was abandoned. And there's actually a way you could have tracked this whole thing, or Logan could have, and, you know, found a way to repay all the people who lost money on eggs. But instead, this refund only applies to current holders, meaning nobody who sold during the year and a half this project was abandoned gets anything back, which is a large percentage of the actual victims. And this is pretty bad. This was brought to Logan's attention by one of the people in the Discord. Joao says, quote, "Logan Paul, what will happen to the people who sold everything at a loss when the project appeared to be, quote, abandoned? Will everyone who minted be able to get that refund, or just the current owners?" Now, in reply to this, someone in the Discord said, "If you sell, you lose common investing knowledge." And Logan replies, seeming to agree with this idea, which is just kind of a terrible perspective for Logan to have when he seems to be saying that he wants to refund these people, and he's the reason a lot of these people left. And this is where Logan's new apology starts to ring more hollow. It's in all of the follow-ups after the response video, because I don't know if he can help himself from betraying how he really feels about this, because in another Discord exchange, Logan says, please do not put any more money into CryptoZoo, which, by the way, is quite reasonable to say. But then somebody follows up and says, guys, can someone explain what he said with not investing? But rather than replying, oh, guys, I just meant like I don't want anyone else losing money, or, I don't want anyone else recklessly gambling, Logan replies instead, quote, I will no longer be the scapegoat for anyone's financial decisions, which is a wild response for someone who's claiming to refund people, because it implies that he thinks he's the victim here. And this is just insane to say as the face of this project, which got everyone involved, because I think it betrays how he feels about this situation. He doesn't seem to see anything wrong with advertising a game that will make you money, it never delivering, millions of dollars being stolen by criminals he hired. And then when all of those people want their money back, he feels like he's the scapegoat. Like, oh, these guys shouldn't have believed me when I advertised to them a fun game that will make you money. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, Logan had a simple job to do. All he had to do was just come out, apologize, get as much money back for the victims as possible. But he himself can't help but play the victim here. In fact, I have a third example of how Logan might really feel, because Logan tweeted right before this response. He says, quote, the Matrix is real. Pray you never become its target. Now, I guess he's trying to channel Andrew Tate here unsuccessfully, basically saying like, I'm getting attacked, not because I did anything wrong or scammed anyone. I'm just too much of a truth teller. I'm just an enemy of the system. That's why I must be getting attacked. But if that's the case, we then have to wonder, did the Matrix force you to apologize? Did it force you to hand back 1.3 million? I just think comments like this go so far to undercut his apology, because it's very clear that instead of actually like caring about the victims, he feels like he's a victim. I mean, he's saying like, oh, pray you never become its target. Who's the Matrix though, Logan? Like, is it your fans who got robbed? Who are the agents coming after you? I know it's not me. I know you're not saying I'm the Matrix here in my $10 million studio, because after all, you're thanking me. You're thanking the Matrix. Like, what is this response? It's so childish the way he speaks about this stuff. And again, this isn't to be dismissive of Logan's actions if he follows through, because there is a lot of good that 1.3 million can do. And you know what? If he goes back and he finishes the game, that's also good. But it's just so frustrating when the good that Logan seems to be doing, he's doing the bare minimum of at the last possible second with motivations that seem to be, in the proper context, to say it lightly, irreparably tainted by self-interest. Now, I'm not going to address Logan's other two response videos, which are mostly like attacking me, because Logan sort of walked those back now. He's apologized. He said he was going to delete them. I think he deleted one of them. The other one's still up. I don't know if the impulsive episode's going to go down. Either way, it's just much less interesting now that he says he doesn't like mean it anymore. He's not going to sue. So I don't feel the need to publicly defend myself. If you're curious about all the wild stuff that was wrong in those first two responses, I'll put the video live on my Patreon, but I didn't want to release it at the time because I thought there was a better chance at getting a good ending for the victims here if I was a bit more diplomatic with Logan at this critical juncture when he was deciding whether he was going to give money back or not. I don't know if I succeeded in moving the needle, but that was certainly my intention. Either way, now that Logan has responded with his plan, and I've given my perspective on how much I think it's rooted in, self-interest versus a genuine, attempt to help out the victims, I think this is about as much as I'm going to be able to contribute to this situation. I mean, I do think it's incredible that even $1.3 million came of this, while I also can acknowledge that it's not nearly enough for the real victims of this. I'll follow up in the future to make sure that he actually gives that money away. But for now, I think most of the CryptoZoo victims, if they're still hungry for justice, are going to have to take it up with Logan in ways that are different than I can do on YouTube here. Which, by the way, I think some of them are. In fact, I just saw a lawyer on YouTube, Attorney Tom. He's going to start the legal process going after Logan using stuff like the arbitration clause in their terms of service. So I just wanted to say, if you're a victim of CryptoZoo, you can check out that video, which I'll link to you if you want, or consult with a lawyer, because I'm sure for the people who lost a lot of money, this is certainly not the end for them, because they didn't get a full refund, and I'm sure they'll be seeking one. But even though it's not the end for them, it is the end for me for now. this is the end of the CryptoZoo saga, and I wanted to say and give a huge heartfelt thank you to everyone who viewed this and supported me throughout this. It's been insane, the level of support when Logan was threatening us, and I do not take it lightly. There is an alternate universe where if that hadn't happened, Logan would feel emboldened to sue me and probably not give much back to the victims. So it's your support that made all the difference and got the victims at least something. Make money online. Get rich quick. These are phrases we hear thrown around a lot more these days now that COVID has wiped a lot of people out, left a lot of people extremely desperate, without jobs, without income. They're looking for a quick way to make money online, on YouTube, or wherever. They just want to make money on the internet. They want to, in the words of Bia, get that Wi-Fi bread. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to support your family, make money online. The problem is that there's liars on YouTube who want to trick you into buying things. See, there's this niche of YouTube called Make Money Online that has exploded. These videos are out of control. As you can see, this is what happens if you type in Make Money Online. Of course, you get Kevin David. Make $1,600 fast and free searching Google. Earn $3,000 copy and pasting, no work. Make money online for free. Make money online watching YouTube videos. Get paid to click on ads. Free app pays $500 per day worldwide. No surveys. Make money online. And you might be wondering, is any of this real? What's going on here? What happened? And to learn, this is why I'm here to serve as a bit of a historian of the internet, okay? Because I'm here to take you back to understand what's going on here, how weird this is. Why are they saying like copy paste? Why is everyone putting make money online in the title? You know, why are they using such gigantic numbers like earn $1,000 on autopilot with this free website? To understand that, guys, we have to go back in time and we have to talk about Goku, okay? I know this took a weird turn. I swear, I'm not a nerd. I'm trying to relate to you kiddos, right? Y'all care about Dragon Ball Z. Is that the new hip thing? Am I a boomer? Is this what, does nobody watch Dragon Ball Z anymore? Okay, I'm not going to go deep here. But if you remember the show, there's something called power creep that happens in Dragon Ball Z. Basically, he's his super fighting form, Super Saiyan. He takes like forever to figure out how to get to that. But once he gets to that level, then after that, as a viewer, you're kind of bored if he just goes Super Saiyan 1, right? And so you got to go Super Saiyan 2. And so then this is where the power creep starts. And then, oh, well, that's kind of boring now. Now, how can we push this further, right? Oh, we got to go further. Now, I know you're thinking, Stephen, what the hell does that have to do with making money online? Okay, to understand the make money online space, you have to understand that everyone's trying to one-up each other. What used to be a big deal is no longer a big deal to claim. Look. Here's John Crestani, sort of the king of exaggerations. On his whiteboard, he has quick, big money. This is like, I would say John Crestani's like the Super Saiyan level 2 of fake gurus, right? He's pretty far up there. And he was pretty extreme when he came out with all his insane get-rich-quick claims. But here's what he says.
Very quickly, and I'm going to walk you through this method step by step so that you can get a big amount of money. I'm talking nearly $500 sent straight to your bank account in one day.
Okay, so that's 2019 quick big money is $500, okay? So now with that little history lesson out of the way, let's go back and all of a sudden things are going to make sense. We're going to go to the Investor's Channel. This kid is who I want to talk about today. This is the YouTuber who honestly is eliminating poverty with his videos. It's very impressive. I mean, all the make money online YouTubers are eliminating poverty, but this kid especially, because wait till you see some of his videos. I mean, you know those like UNICEF commercials where they're talking about like ending hunger and poverty?
Children are dying every day from hunger and sickness.
That's because they haven't heard of The Investor. 9 months ago, he was saying earn $500 a day on autopilot. Nowadays, he's saying, oh, earn $1,000 a day. And now we are up to $1,200 a day. $5,000 a day. $1,200 a day. The power creep has gotten to the point that his latest video is $2,000 in 30 minutes for free, done for you. This is the king! Dude, this is Super Saiyan 3.0, right? So this is his video. This is the pinnacle of make money online content. And I want you to notice, he really emphasizes how much work you need to do to get this stuff done. He really makes it hard on you.
No selling, no camera, no investment, and no social media followers.
In fact, you don't even have to lift a finger. Screw it, dude. I'm gonna throw out the believability right away. If you clicked on this video, maybe you're not so bright. $2,000 a day in 30 minutes for free, done for you. Dude, even get rich quick scammers are like, okay, come on, you gotta be a little realistic. Are you kidding? 30 minutes for free, done for you. Guys, if this were real, and he says it's worldwide, by the way, so don't worry if you're not in America, right? It's worldwide.
This works all around the world, and I even did the hardest part for
Easy Street, guys. We're on Easy Street. This man's eliminating poverty. I want you to appreciate that, guys. So it's worldwide. It's done for you. Can someone please tell Alyssa Milano that they need to talk to the investor, please? I can't do it by myself, guys. Every like on this video is a message sent to Alyssa Milano.
But with your support and just 50 cents a day, we can...
50 cents a day, dude. That's nothing. If everyone could watch The Investor, that's the name of the channel, The Investor, they'd all be making $32,000 every day for 8 hours of work. That's how much money you can make. If you make $2,000 every 30 minutes, $4,000 an hour, $8,000 or $32,000 for 8 hours. Oh my gosh. And look, I wouldn't be talking about it if people didn't believe it. Look at this stuff. Hey guys, let's make money online. We could do this. Not on you, not here you can't. And really what he's doing is the real genius behind this, if you ask me, is you're collecting a short list of all the sheep on YouTube, okay? If you think about what advertising get-rich-quick scams do, is it basically creates a lead list, a hot list for who's interested in get-rich-quick scams, and then you can sell them a get-rich-quick scam. Because as we know, a lot of these courses, they're just get-rich-quick schemes. So, yeah, look at that. He's selling a course. Of course he is. Let's go check that out. Surely this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. He said, sarcastically, setting up the next segment. Are you ready to make $10,000 per month on YouTube? No camera, no BS, no affiliate marketing, no work. But here's my favorite part. So he's got a video pitching it or whatever. It's like $300. This is my favorite part though. At the bottom, this is not a get-rich-quick program. It's like Bernie Madoff saying, this is not a Ponzi scheme. Hey, this is, before you invest, want you to know, not a Ponzi scheme. Or it's like Herbalife being like, hey guys, just so we're clear, we are not a pyramid scheme. Want you to be clear on that. And they're like showing you their comp plan. It's triangle shaped. It's not actually a pyramid. But the crazy thing, I think, to me, is that this guy's getting real views. I mean, at the end of the day, he's getting like legitimate views on his channel from posting this crap. And what it shows is that there's a real audience for this. There's a hunger for get-rich-quick content. And of course there is, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. So it frustrates me because, you know, as somebody who's trying to protect people from this stuff, I feel almost helpless. That's why I need you guys to smash like on this video so we can notify more people of these scams. But 2 months ago, almost 500,000 views.
Step 1.
And that's not because it's a good video. It's just because people are searching the stuff left and right. They're desperate to make money. That's all there is to it. And this guy is stealing their money, selling them worthless courses, or just wasting their time with this crap. Look at this. I'm just trying to help my mama pay the bills the way she did for me. It's sad to say, this ain't gonna do it, bruh. What do you expect typing in make money online into YouTube? Unfortunately, it's just this, it's a hot term right now because this guy's basically promising he's going to eliminate poverty. And the truth is he's helping keep people in the poorhouse. Also, he can enrich himself from his course. Oh, by the way, before we leave, I just wanted to point out, you know, that course I showed you earlier, this course right here, it's just Caleb Maddox like 2.0. It's just another YouTube course. And what he's really going to teach you is how to make money online videos. with a bunch of B-roll like he does. You can be just like him, scamming other people. See, it's a Ponzi scheme. He's at the top. You buy his course. You start making content to trick other people, and they'll get scammed until they decide to start scamming other people, and we could just all scam each other. But anyways, I hope this was educational on the weird power creep in make money online stuff to the point of insanity. And just to let you guys know, like, if you've got friends in your life who watch this stuff, who are on that, who are on that make money online grind, remind them how you're about to watch this kid try to make $20 million selling NFTs, but that's in a few hours. Right now, he's panicking because someone has accused his project of being a scam, and he's come out to say he's innocent.
I woke up to some crazy FUD about me, some weird accusations, not sure where they come from or how I'm tied exactly. I have no bad intentions. I would never hurt anyone physically, financially, or mentally. It's not in me. I'm all about my morals.
All about his morals? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that, because there's more to this story. Behind the face of this kid in braces sits a group of NFT scammers in the shadows. One name for this group? The NFT Factory, and we're exposing them today. You see, this kid on camera is just a stooge set up to play the part of a founder by those lurking behind the scenes. And what's worse is that they've done this before, except this time the stakes are higher than ever. They stand to make $20 million on this scam, but not if we can help it. So buckle up, because this is the $10 million studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, the internet detective, and welcome to another investigation. Now, our story begins with a project called Squiggles. I know that sounds like the name of a children's band or something, but it's not. It's an NFT project that appeared to be the next big thing. It had a ton of hype around it. But right before it launched, something happened that threatened to make it worth nothing at all. A 60-page dossier dropped hours before launch that alleged that the founder of this project, Squiggles, isn't the founder at all, but instead a paid puppet. It alleges that the real people behind Squiggles are a group that has been going around creating scam after scam. And the question is that true? Well, today we're gonna find out. In order to do so, we have to talk about a group of LA wannabes, the main suspects being these three: Gabe, Gavin, and Ali. Now, I'm intentionally going to leave their last names out of this report because I think one of them is in high school, because, gotta start early on that scam grind. But let me say, fellas, if you're gonna do this and scam people, you really should hide your identities better instead of flex on Instagram. Just a free tip from me. But basically, this dossier meticulously documents over 60 pages allegations of these three being behind not just Squiggles, but several NFT scams, including League of Sacred Devils, League of Divine Beings, Vault of Gems, Sinful Souls, Dirty Dogs, Lucky Buddhas, Uncovered Faceless, and on and on and on. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go through all these 60 pages, but to summarize it, basically, these guys churn out NFT projects that have the appearance of trust and quality, and then after launching, it turns out they're just cash grabs. The way they do it is by setting up projects that all seem unrelated and run by a bunch of different people, but aren't. They're run by mostly the same people, and it's a big racket. For example, here's one of these guys, Gavin. He's publicly admitting to running the project Sinful Souls.
Hey, we're the owners of Sinful Souls, and we're here in LA at one of the biggest NFT and crypto mixers to date.
But then behind the scenes, he's also caught in projects where he's not listed, such as this one, which was called Faceless. Here he is discussing with another co-conspirator whose identity they're going to use as the face of this thing. Quote, obviously Centurion is Gabe, so do you want me to list him as the owner of the site? Yeah, Travis might be doxed as Centurion, lol. Then when talking about who should be listed as the advisor, marketer, and artist, Gavin says, well, make it up. He gives an example of what he means. Quote, hello, I am a 3D artist for this project. I've been creating art for the past 6 years, and it is my first time that I am working on NFTs. When I am creating art, I'm always thinking of a quote from Frank Camaro. People ignore designs that ignore people. And that is really powerful when you grasp the meaning. Wow. These people are so dumb that they make fake artists with fake inspirations to fulfill their backstory. And then it's not done there. They then have to do a fake giveaway to generate hype. Here's Gavin once again saying, also, you have an alt we can give away to? Lol. Logan says, yeah. Gavin replies, okay, have it react and we'll give away in a few hours. In other words, the giveaway is fake. They give it to their friends, but this generates more hype for their project. Now, after all this happened, this Logan character you're seeing here got to feel a little bad about what he did. He was sorry about it. He said in a statement that this was simply a cash grab, that the actual two real owners aren't Travis at all, but instead Gavin and Gabe. And the reason I'm showing you this is emblematic of what they would do. Every time they would need a new front man for their schemes, but behind the scenes, the people making the real decisions were usually one of these three, Gavin, Gabe, or Ali. And they kept needing new doxes to put as the front man because every time one person was responsible for a rug pull or scam, they needed a new guy in the future so they couldn't be traced back. Gavin and Gabe got doxed on this project, and then on League of Divine Beings, Ali got doxed. So their identities were burned, and they had to start hiring new people to be the public founders of a project, basically puppets. And this is where Arsalan is going to come in, our young kid with braces on who says that he's all about his morals. And by the way, just so you guys understand, these NFT scams make so much money that at one point, Gavin rents out an office to do it from. This is what allegedly he was calling the NFT factory. Quote, also opening an office and hiring people in real life, so no loose ends. Bruh, you got an office. Gavin responds, yeah, gonna have 10 plus people working sales and on these projects. Gotta spit out at least 5 to 10 before it ends. So now that you have a basic understanding of their pattern of behavior, we're gonna go back to Squiggles because this project was looking to be their most lucrative one yet. It was gonna be the most expensive and had the most people following it and hyped up about it. $20 million was potentially on the line and everything was looking perfect. After doing this many times, maybe they've perfected the formula and all they had to do was lay low. But of course, they couldn't do it. They decided that success was almost assured and they decided to go out and party and celebrate. This is where they screwed up because it turns out some pictures were taken that night on Instagram showing Arsalan, the supposed founder of Squiggles, and Gavin together in the same Rolls Royce. Then later, they appeared at the same club holding a sign that said Squiggles Boys. And then a photo appeared with Gavin, Ali, and Gabe, all in the same photo. Pretty quickly, people put two and two together, and hours before launch, all of this information came out going viral, that this super hyped launch is actually coming from a bunch of serial scammers. So that brings us back up to speed to Mr. Morals here. And I'm going to let his statement play again, only a bit longer now that you understand the context.
I'm all about my morals. People are just trying to paint a picture that's not true, and they're trying to ferment fear. I was at the club with friends of friends who didn't have a good reputation in the space. Now they're trying to tie me to them. It's not how it works, guys. Please do not jump to conclusions.
Don't jump to conclusions. Guys, I was just at the same club. I was just in the same vehicle as them. Guys, it's all a coincidence. They're just friends of friends. And that maybe would have been a good argument if someone didn't almost immediately leak a screenshot of Gabe, one of these guys, telling Arsalan, quote, you got an AMA coming up, Poppy. Better start preparing. And then even more, all accusing Gavin, Ali, and Gabe of being behind this. Now, it's at this point you might think, okay, so these guys are caught red-handed, they're screwed, they're not going to make any money with this, right? But you'd be wrong. 30 minutes after launch, $7 million worth of Squiggles had been bought. And honestly, this really disheartened me, watching so many people walk into what was so clearly a scam. How could they be this naive? Well, maybe they weren't. Is that $7 million all real? This is where things are about to get a little weird. See, as I looked closer at this $7 million that was generated, things didn't really look right. A lot of the buyers were brand new, and I was confused why. Could it be that all of the buyers were brand new to crypto? I mean, there were so many that had never done anything on either scam before. And that's when I discovered something. A series of shadow wallets all created by one person that were all buying tons of Squiggles, millions of dollars worth of fake volume, and then immediately flipping them on OpenSea for less money. Digging backwards, I found a single account that spent 800 Ethereum, which is over $2 million spread across 2 transactions, that created hundreds of new wallets. Each of these shadow wallets then bought 3 Squiggles apiece and immediately listed them on OpenSea for less money. Now you might be wondering, why do this? Why buy $2 million worth of squiggles only to sell them for less? Who in their right mind would do this? Well, the only reason that makes sense to me is they were trying to give the illusion of huge interest, to get people to buy in, to make people think this had a lot of trading volume, a lot of hype. And the only people who could possibly want to do that is, of course, the team behind Squiggles. Although it's worth saying they deny this, saying it's a hater trying to bring them down. I reached out to Arsalan, the supposed founder, and he didn't respond. So where does that leave us? Well, it's currently unknown how much of the Squiggles $7 million is fake volume created by one account or real volume. Word from anonymous sources is that they made roughly $3 million in profit, although I couldn't get anyone to go on the record about this, so we don't know. Either way, they were stopped from making the $20 million they could have made, and that's good. Less than 24 hours later, these guys got delisted on OpenSea, and their founder went private on Instagram. But our story isn't quite over yet, because the team behind this isn't exactly happy with how things went down. Why would they be? They potentially lost millions of dollars. So they're angry at anyone who helped expose them. This is according to sources who started coming out of the woodwork saying that this team has begun to threaten them for coming out. According to one person, quote, they told me they would send people to my house and get my parents fired. The guy who exposed one of their older scams said, quote, I was getting lawsuit threats, which were fake. Then it escalated to threats against my family about getting articles written and published that my parents children. Finally, worst of all, one message said, my private messages are crazy, but low-key fear for my life. As these guys put hits out, I am being deadly serious. Now, I want to be clear, nothing has happened that I know of, and hopefully these stay what they are right now, just threats. However, now that the cat is out of the bag on how these guys operate, hopefully scamming will get harder for these guys. And many people will realize that behind that cool new shiny NFT project created by some cool artist who's doing NFTs for the first time, there may be more behind the scenes than you realize. And maybe one day the feds will get involved and put a stop to this stuff. But until then, Gavin is still hiring for the factory. That's it for now. Subscribe, pump the stock. I'll see you in the next investigation. Time for a serious chat, boys and girls, about your money. A lot of you guys don't have a lot of it, and you are being taken advantage of by these financial outlets who are irresponsibly promoting to you worthless things for clicks. Surprise, surprise. I know. We're all shocked. Listen, guys, I want to have a serious conversation with you guys based on some things that I've been seeing, not only with Squid Game crypto, which went, of course, kaput after all these mainstream outlets reported on it, endlessly, breathlessly saying about how much it was going up in value. I want to talk to you guys about just more than just Squid Game crypto. I want to talk to you guys about the endless reporting of meme coins and pitching of meme coins to you. Things like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Floki Inu, choose your flavor of dog, general coins with no actual foundational value, but who are driven entirely or almost entirely by marketing hype, where the only way the price goes up is if we tell enough of our friends and try to get them to FOMO in, and the whole thing's built on like fear of missing out and, greater fool theory. We've not only seen the explosion of these types of cryptocurrencies, not only in the number of them, but in the value of them, but we've also seen, and this is kind of surprising, these things go mainstream with mainstream outlets, whether it's YouTubers or like actual papers, reporting on them seriously. And it's a joke. And actually, it led to one of my favorite things ever, which is Patrick Boyle, you guys might know as the former hedge fund manager we interviewed a while back. Watching him sort of break down while talking about these coins, you can tell he's about to cry. I mean, we're very close to breaking this man's spirit. Watch him as he explains one of these meme coins and what's happening, and just sort of feel the pain of somebody who's spent their whole life trying to understand something, seeing it get to this point.
These adverts are supposed to drum up enthusiasm around Floki Inu coin. The article goes on to say, the branding campaign aims to legitimize the coin and increase confidence of the average consumer. The group's head of marketing, who identified himself by the alias Saber, said, you get a lot of scam artists in this game. Yeah, so that's what's going on in the world of finance right now. A man using the alias Saber, a name most likely stolen from a comic book villain, is warning us against scam artists while pitching his Elon Musk dog-themed currency. He's been quoted in the Financial Times, a serious newspaper.
You can almost see his soul breaking, can't you? You almost see a single tear going down, buried in British sarcasm.
The article continues. Flocky Inu can splash out on pricey advertising because, like some other meme coins, it imposes a marketing fee of 4% on buyers. That fee is used for onboarding influencers and to further develop and grow the Flocky ecosystem. I guess at least they're onboarding influencers. If there's one thing that can be counted upon to legitimize a new form of money, it's YouTubers and Instagrammers, because after all, this is finance in 2021.
So there you go, guys. At least we got that beautiful reaction from our boy Patrick Boyle. Go subscribe to his channel. He does like common sense investing. But yeah, there it is. He's talking about one of the big financial papers, the Financial Times, just reporting on this like absolute shitcoin. And you're just like, what has happened? How did we get to this place? I mean, it's one thing for these cryptocurrencies to do promotional campaigns like this built on nothing but FOMO, like Miss Doge, get Floki. It's literally selling fear of missing out. That's like the pitch, right? It's one thing to have that, but to have serious newspapers, serious financial educators, right, taking these cryptos seriously is absolutely insane. So I guess this is my way of saying, like, be careful of all these videos talking about Shiba Inu millionaires and Dogecoin millionaires and Floki Inu millionaires and all this kind of stuff, because these guys are selling you nothing but hype, FOMO, all this nonsense. And it's like, how did we get to this point, right? How is this what like financial YouTube is, financial Twitter's about, financial articles are being written about these things? And it's like, and look, I'm not saying like don't cover these topics because they're in the mainstream, like everybody's going to talk about them to some extent. But you have to talk about them in the context of like, oh yeah, these are basically Ponzi schemes, right? Like we all know these are Ponzi schemes. But a lot of the people who talk about this, they are just to get clicks. They're talking not about why it's like basically a Ponzi scheme and why it's relying on just greater full theory. Instead, they go, oh, it's up 2,000%. Oh, it's up 10,000%. Could this be the next, huge coin or something like that? When you're just pushing a glorified like Ponzi coin. I mean, so many of these coins have no underlying fundamentals and are literally built purely on marketing. How can you do that to your fans? Like push them knowingly into that. I mean, literally, if that's all finance is at this point, we might as well be telling people to go get lottery tickets. We might as well be telling people, go bet on such and such lottery ticket. I hear their numbers are crazy today, even though it's a losing game. These meme coins have always been a losing game for most people because they're built on nothing. Developers take a huge cut. Early adopters take most of it, right? If you're finding out about it now, you're late. So yeah, I'm just basically putting this out as a PSA to my audience, to anybody who watches my channel. Be careful of this kind of like hype-based news of like the next Shiba Inu. Facebook sends the price of this minor Bitcoin rival soaring 300% to 6 billion. Like this kind of writing is trash. You're going to get wrecked on this kind of writing, or at least just realize like this is just the same as basically buying lottery tickets. I mean, you might as well buy lottery tickets if you listen to this kind of thing. This article, which is from Forbes, compares Shiba Inu, a meme coin, to Bitcoin. Okay. I guess that's where we're at these days. Oh, and then it mentioned Squid Game Crypto, which this is before, of course, the crash. Talking about it soaring even higher despite a raft of serious warnings. Jeez, dude. Like, why is it all about, how much percent is it up? When what it should be about is like, hey, don't invest in a Ponzi coin. Hey, maybe that's not a good idea, right? So frustrating. Like, again, these are financial outlets. Like, they're supposed to be like about financial education. It's so strange to watch this like turn of events. Now, real quick, I just wanted to jump in here. Stephen from the future here. I realized I wanted to make the caveat that I'm not talking about anyone that covers finance ever talking about these things is scamming you or whatever. I'm specifically talking about people who pitch these things as legitimate financial investments. It's perfectly fine to make fun of this stuff. It's perfectly fine to commentate on how crazy it is that this stuff has gone viral. I'm specifically talking about the financial people who are basically talking about this in the way you talk about any kind of investment, talking about this is a way to get rich, or this is a way that you're somehow going to make a bunch of money. That, I think, is scummy. Just talking about it, I think it's fine, fair game, whatever. Okay, disclosure over. I'm just in awe that this is what personal finance has become, is like the discussion of meme coins. It's just, it's so bizarre. And while I don't have his sense of British wit, I share his sort of like dread over it. Because here's the thing. I know these things seem like they last forever. So you go, oh, got to get in the bubble while I still can. They eventually pop, and then people just get wrecked. And all of these outlets, articles, people, they'll cover you getting wrecked, but they're not going to cover the cost, dude. And unlike them, who usually can afford this kind of thing, who usually are making money on top of this kind of thing, you guys can't. Like most of the people who are getting targeted with these types of cryptocurrencies, they don't have a bunch of spare money. Like I was talking to my barber. My barber is invested in Dogecoin or whatever. And you're just kind of like, you know, they don't have a ton of discretionary income. We are targeting like masses of regular people with not a ton of discretionary income, and we are selling them worthless coins that are built on Ponzi-nomics. I don't know. Seems wrong to me. But then again, here I am. Maybe it's a little boomer of me not to understand the genius of meme coin economics, dude. Maybe it'll be different this time. I know we've been through so many speculative bubbles, and every one of them has popped. But maybe Floki Inu is the new one. You know, maybe they're going to be the exception. But I don't think so. Anyways, stay safe with your money out there, guys. A lot of stupid reports going out there. They're getting people wrecked. And Luna crashed and burned $32 billion. But the question is, now what? What is the fallout from all that? Today, we're going to find out. We're going to talk about what happened to Do Kwon, where all that Bitcoin they owned went. And I'm going to finally answer the question, is Luna coming back? No. Sorry, that's the answer. No. Stop dumping money into this piece of trash Ponzi. Sorry about that, guys. Still a little salty about this one. Anyways, let's jump into Luna Armageddon.
We have sort of a something called a Protocol Armageddon at the company. So what Protocol Armageddon is that's a kill switch. So whenever we feel like we're no longer in a position to be able to best serve the community, we pull the trigger and 24 hours we're gone. We burn all of our assets, we cut all of our ties, and it's nothing.
Hey, you probably thought I was clickbaiting you with this title, didn't you? Be honest, all right? No, actually, the founder of Luna literally said he had an Armageddon protocol. This guy knew this ship was going down. He planned for it. He bragged about those plans. And as more and more clips are just coming out, it turns out the warning signs have sort of always been there. People just ignored it because they were making money. And that in of itself should scare you because it might remind you of something if you're paying attention.
UST! 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 UST!
All right, guys, now I feel like the BitConnect guys. So
BitConnect 2.0, that's the Luna story. And obviously with hindsight, BitConnect was so clear. But watching the Luna disaster, it's much easier to see why people were fooled. And you can see Luna influencers still trying to spin it one way or the other. Oh, it crashed because the big banks wanted us to fail, or it crashed because of the haters. No, the founder of Luna knew this thing was going to collapse, and he said publicly it was destined to go to zero.
it's a cycle of life. You begin from nothing and go back to nothing. And that's exactly where I want to be. So I think Terra is going to be the decentralized money standard across the entire blockchain, across all the blockchains. And I'm excited for Terraform Labs to contribute a significant portion of that early vision, but eventually to go back to nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Excited.
So yeah, Do Kwon is trash, and the people defending him are either bag holders or also trash. And if you're not convinced at this point that this guy is a grade A scammer, I just want to show you his other failed algo stablecoin Basis Cash, which he helped create according to CoinDesk. Now, this is how he talked about his own project back when no one knew he was a part of it. Quote, while DeFi degens are busy trapping retail in zero-sum games in Basis Cash, and then another coin called Empty Set Squad. Now, right there, take the screenshot, upscale it to 4K. That's all the proof you need. This guy literally called his own project a trap for retail investors and a zero-sum game. And this is why when Do Kwon is later going to apologize, I have no time for it. I'm not interested. He wants to save his own skin, and it's too little too late. Now, we've already learned a lot about Do Kwon, so now we're going to pivot to talk about Luna, because since we last reported, the Luna coin has kept falling in value. It is now worth less than a penny, which probably has upset the degenerate gamblers who have predictably been throwing money at it, hoping for 1,000x gains by buying at the bottom. And like many degenerate gamblers, most of these traders don't understand that things can always get worse. They also don't understand math, many of them. Because this person says easy 4 million if Luna reaches $1. But because Luna has hyperinflated to 6.5 trillion Luna, compared to only 300 million 10 days ago, if Luna were to hit $1, it would be worth 5 times more than the entire global crypto markets. It's not going to happen. Now, on the other hand, many Luna investors aren't delusional. They're just angry. So angry, in fact, that one of them decided to allegedly break into Do Kwon's house in South Korea, which obviously is disgusting, and I don't endorse a vigilante justice in any of this. But what I can endorse and do endorse is a different group of investors who unfriended their buddy after he got them to put their life savings into Luna. He says, quote, my friends who I recommended Luna to all hate me now, which I think is a fair exchange for life savings. Now, in response to this guy losing friends, the UK government decided that they were going to finally step in and regulate stablecoins. Actually, that's probably not right, but let's pretend it is for the sake of this segue. A Treasury spokesman for the Queen said in a statement, the government has been clear that certain stablecoins are not suitable for payment purposes, as they share characteristics with unbacked crypto assets, clearly targeting the Luna coin here. But I think the broader lesson is just that algorithmic stablecoins don't work. They're like a perpetual energy machine, or SNL being funny in 2022. It's a nice idea, but it just doesn't work in practice. But of course, that won't stop them from trying. And Luna and Do Kwon are busy trying to save themselves in a last-ditch effort. This started with Do Kwon apologizing for, quote, the pain his invention has brought upon all of you. Now, as I said earlier, I think this apology is basically worth as much as Luna is right now, which is worthless. But the real news is what Do Kwon said next. He proposed a recovery plan for the Terra ecosystem. He calls it the Terra Ecosystem Revival Plan 2. Now, like the rest of Do Kwon's ideas, it's kind of terrible. In fact, I don't think you could think of a worse proposal. Basically, I'll explain it. The idea is to fork the Terra blockchain into a new chain called Terra, and they're going to rename the old chain to Terra Classic. What's new? Well, not much. It's the same old Terra, except this time without stablecoins, which is weird because the whole purpose of Terra was stablecoins, and that's their business model. I mean, look, you don't even have to take my word for it. Just listen to their first YouTube video.
Terra is a price-stable cryptocurrency that is pegged to several of the world's major fiat currencies, such as the USD, the Korean won, the CNY, the GBP, and most notably the IMF SDR. So the goal is to connect all of these stable currencies with the e-commerce and retail payment network, such that you can break down the barriers of international commerce.
I mean, that's their whole shtick. Stablecoins. Terra and their coin Luna without stablecoins is nonsensical. It doesn't even make sense. And they say that the reason they're trying to save it is this, quote, the Terra ecosystem and its community are worth preserving. Terra's app ecosystem contains hundreds of developers, Terra Station has a large install base, and although distressed, strong brand recognition and a name that almost everyone in the world will have heard about. Now, while it's great and all that everyone's heard of you, the reason everyone's heard of you is because you fell apart. Luna has become the poster child for crypto Ponzi's going bust, and that's not exactly going to inspire confidence, no matter how much you tell yourself all publicity is good publicity. As for the developer front, the reason so many people wanted to work on Terra is because there was so much money coming in. Billions of dollars, in fact. Developers aren't charity workers. They're not going to just stay on a project that's hopelessly lost its way and deviated from its core promise, stablecoins. So forgive me if I'm a little skeptical. It's like if Theranos said they're ditching the whole blood testing thing to become a Steve Jobs lookalike merch company. It's just not going to work. And if I sound like I'm being critical, I want to say a lot of other people think this plan is also equally a disaster. In fact, the CEO of Binance tweeted SMH and said, "This won't work. Forking doesn't give the new fork any value. That's wishful thinking." And finally, he brings up a super important question. He says, where is all the Bitcoin that was supposed to be used as reserves? And this is a really important question. I mean, the whole reason Luna was supposed to be unbreakable and you could have confidence in it was this 80,000 Bitcoin they bought that they were going to defend the peg with. And so later, Luna Foundation Guard actually posted that update and they said, well, they spent it. It's gone. 80,000 Bitcoin down the drain trying to buy UST, all in vain. Now, I should say Terra was accused of bailing out crypto whales with this money in a post by the New Money Review. But LFG denies insiders were bought out. And since no real proof has come out either way, I'm going to withhold judgment until I get more evidence. That's what I said when BlackRock and Citadel were accused with no evidence. And that's what I'm going to say now when Luna is accused of market manipulation with, frankly, not enough evidence. We just don't know yet. And at the same time, it also kind of doesn't matter. Either way, Luna doesn't really have any money left. And that's why it puts them in a weird position when they claim they want to help small investors and compensate them. They say this in a tweet, but given that they've spent the vast majority of their money, it's a bit like offering someone a ride when you're out of gas. Still, the crypto community is very enthusiastic about a bailout. And I have to say, I find it kind of ironic. People rediscovering why basic financial regulation exists in the first place. I mean, Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, called for, quote, coordinated sympathy for the average UST smallholder in the form of a bailout. And then he cited American federal FDIC insurance as precedent, which is just like, this is federally backed programs created by Congress. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't be anti-centralization when it suits you, and then the moment everything goes south, be like, yo, but that bailout though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very pro crypto regulation, but it's just kind of amusing watching people rediscover things that already have existed. Anyways, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Pump the stock, and thanks for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bear news, but this might be the scariest chart you'll ever see, and I'll explain why. Welcome back to the $10 Million Studio, boys. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, and today we're talking once again about Tether. If you haven't seen sort of the big summary video of what the whole situation is with them, we'll link it below. Tether is one of the biggest, it is the biggest stable coin, one of the main ways crypto markets get liquidity. And if you're excited about how the crypto markets are just going straight up, you might want to see this for a second here. Now, as we know, a lot of people have suspected for a long time that Tether is not backed by, really anything. People have said it's not backed by US dollars. Eventually, they admitted that was true. It's backed by a basket of receivables, mostly commercial paper. We have come to find out. But I want to show you their market cap just to illustrate something. This is what I think is a pretty scary chart if you're heavily invested in crypto. And guys, again, I'm not saying this isn't to make you panic. It's not to make you go sell everything. It's to educate you. Some people are going to tell you be bullish at all times. Just be a bull. Don't ever think about anything like this. Some people are going to tell you that the sky's falling. Look, I don't really subscribe to either of those. I do invest a little bit in crypto. I don't talk about what I invest in because I don't want to steer you guys towards my stupid way of thinking. But my point is, I'm not just some blind hater, but at the same time, you guys have to be educated with what your risks are. And right now, not a lot of people are talking about this. So this chart is Tether's market cap. Basically, because Tether's worth $1, whatever their market cap is how many Tethers are in existence, actually. It's a pretty easy way to track how much they've been printing. And people call Tether sort of the central bank of crypto because they seem like they can just print whenever they want. Now, if you guys remember, the New York Attorney General investigated them and found that Tether lied when they said that they were always backed 1-to-1, and that from 2017 to like late 2018, like November-ish, they were unbacked, right? And then in 2019, they changed their disclosure to say, yeah, we're actually not backed 1-to-1. We've been lying to you guys pretty much for our entire existence, but don't pay attention to that. But what I want to draw your attention to, guys, is, okay, so this chart that I have in front of me is Tether's market cap during the time that the New York Attorney General says they were unbacked, right? The New York Attorney General says, for sure, we know at this point they were lying to people. We know that they were not telling the truth, okay? So look at this chart, and I'm going to slowly take it. So this is the end of 2018, beginning 2019 here. This is when they changed their disclosure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this over, and you're going to see how Tether has progressed and printed money after being found to have lied to people. Because the big question is what are they not telling us? What are they telling us? So watch this, watch this. This is Tether's activity since the New York Attorney General determined they lied. This is the state of affairs with crypto, guys. The people we think who might be falsely inflating the market, this is where we knew they were lying to us. This is now the state of affairs. Tether is now worth more than Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme at its height. Tether is now worth $72 billion, and they've gone completely mad with how much they're printing. And again, we know this is not USD backed. Tether themselves will tell you that they're backed mostly by commercial paper. Ask them whose commercial paper do you hold? They won't tell you. In fact, they'll block your FOIA request to find out, as we talked about in this video over here. I mean, if you look at just the past 7 days, you can see that the printeroonie is going crazy. They're just printing the dollary dues, dude. Look at this. They went from what, like 70 billion market cap to a 72.5. That's $2.5 billion in 7 days, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for them, dude. Crypto's becoming what they sought to fight with fiat. Like fiat, everybody thought, oh, that's clearly, a scam, the way they're printing money over there. Inflation's going to kill us all. And then you go over to crypto, you think you've diversified. Tether's printing. Tether, the central bank, is printing it almost as fast as Jay Powell. Quite wild, quite insane. And if you're watching the markets, you're just concerned about hedging your risk, just bear in mind this, no pun intended, when thinking about your crypto investments. It's fine to be bullish on the technology of crypto. I also am too. But you have to be smart about it, guys. You have to know that there are a lot of grifters, a lot of scammers in this game. And this stuff is linked to all sorts of things like Bitcoin, Ethereum price. Like, I don't know. So whatever happens when it all comes crashing down, I'm pretty well convinced that something bad is going to eventually happen with Tether. And when it does, what exactly happens is anyone's guess. I don't think the market's going to go to zero. I've never said that, but I do worry that people may underestimate what this is actually going to do. So, guys, just keep that in mind when you are...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited for this one. Today, we're talking about a conversation that was leaked to me via an anonymous tip, and it's a conversation between two scammers, and it allows us a rare look into how they think, how you can spot them, and more importantly, the kind of trash that's being allowed, promulgated, pushed on Instagram all the time. People trying to get you to hand over your money in a new way. You guys all know about the Nigerian prince, but you don't know about a lot of these investment scams. Now, this is going to be a two-part series because today we're talking about the inside look at their DMs, their conversation when no one's watching. The second is a confrontation between myself and this scammer where I try to get to the heart of what this person is doing, how they feel about the scam, and ultimately a scammer's perspective on the victims of a scam. It's fascinating. I think you will find it very interesting if you like psychology, if you like any kind of like true crime stuff. This is an insane inside look at this, and you rarely get that. So starting off, let's talk about who's involved. There are two people. David Ferris, FX, which is actually a cover. That's not his real name. This is a fake account that is made to lure investors in to invest with this person. It's between this guy and another guy named Stocks College. Here it is right here. #1 stock market training program, 500 plus satisfied students, top rated funds. Okay, trying to get this social proof going on, right? They're constantly posting about trades, stuff like that. You see accounts like this all the time. Now, let me say right off the bat, one of these accounts has since been deleted. That would be David Ferris FX, which is why I wanted to compare it to a similar, probably almost identical account called Invest with Hilda FX. Very similar, Forex expert, binary trader, entrepreneur, all this kind of stuff. DM me, let's earn huge profits, da-da-da-da. So this is basically what David Ferris was doing. He's posting daily about Forex, all these trades, all this money, but that's who we're dealing with. So let's set the tone. It starts off, I hope our conversation don't get leaked. We should chat somewhere private. Do you have WhatsApp? I'm going to blur out that number for privacy reasons. And this guy goes, what happened to your personal page? I can't find it. Blocked you. Why would you do that? Bro, you keep changing IG accounts. You making it hard to do business with you. Safety, bro. My main page never changes. So this David Ferris FX scammer is basically saying, I have two accounts, one for the scam, one that's completely unassociated, and Stocks College is upset because he can't get a hold of him. But David Ferris's reasoning is pretty clear. Imagine police stops me and go through my Instagram. I'm f***ed. Stocks College responds, lol, they can't go through your Instagram. David Ferris, what? Google SARS Nigeria. They kill scammers, bro. Now, for those of you wondering, SARS is the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, which is a Nigerian-based police force which has some extremely controversial methods of enforcement. As you can see here, they've been linked to acts of extortion, torture, framing, and blackmail, and basically a lot of people in Nigeria want them shut down. This guy's afraid of SARS. The conversation goes on. Okay, man, anyways, they can go through your WhatsApp too then. David Ferris responds, I've got two phones. One of them is scam-free, which is extremely interesting, and this guy feels pretty sophisticated compared to probably a lot of scammers who don't go through all these hoops to try to stay, clean as far as their public image is concerned. But then this guy goes, I don't know, bro, you're doing too much and I'm confused. I need you for the scam. This is Stocks College, an Instagram page that is still up, still trying to, I guess, get people to invest. I don't know. Do you want to make money or not? He says, yeah, I want to make money, but without using my official page, dude. I don't understand. I'm using Robert DeMayo's picture on a new page. Nice, man. I need to make multiple IG accounts and post on all of them, grow all of them. Yeah, you can do that. So they're talking about diversifying for when they have to burn one of these accounts, you want multiple. So moving on, they go, yeah, great job, man. When someone messages you Bitcoin, what do you do? David Ferris responds, I give them a good format. Talk to them like a company or an organization. Lead them on and give them everything legit because I know they'll want to verify all I'm saying. It will be them that will ask to send their money. How's everything going? Great over here. You're in, chilling, man, trying to collect as many investors as I can. Any word from the Naveen guy? I guess that's one of their leads. He then sends them some car, and then we have our scammer going, damn, last night I was so visualizing myself in an S-Class Benz. Now, let's stop for a second and say, this is what all scammers do. All of them buy very much into this manifestation idea. They think that if they think it, they will do it. They get it all from The Secret. They all believe in it, like totally. So you'll see a lot of that on this channel. David Ferris says, delete your comment, bro. I guess he's referring to some kind of post, maybe on his private Instagram. I deleted it. Why you want me to delete the comment? Lol. I just feel in case your followers see it, they shouldn't know your movements. So again, we find David Ferris is constantly trying to elude detection. He doesn't want anyone to see who he is. Later in the conversation, we see more of this sort of paranoid behavior. Cool, man. Bro, did you block the Persuade guy? Lol, yeah, of course I blocked. Apparently, this is probably someone who invested with him asking for returns. And they just block them. That's how this stuff works. You invest and they keep you on the hook until you ask for your money back. They promise you these super high returns. And when you do ask for it back, they block you. Lol, for real. Ha 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 ha. The worst is still to come. Who the is that loser though? Damn, bro. You're savage. No, dude.
you're a scammer. And now all of your dirty laundry is being exposed. How about that? Joke's on you guys. Now Stocks College says, I'm going to block him too. Yup, block his ass. He's a pest. So this guy goes, Stocks College says, I'm going to grow 5 new pages and buy established pages and cash out. Bro, each account we can make easy 80K. They're talking about scamming. Raise 30 to 40, commission 30 to 40, and extra like you did with Persuade here and there. And that's it. Burn the account. So this is the mechanism behind this stuff. And I hope you guys are thinking, wow, I'm never going to invest in an Instagram investor ever. And you shouldn't, because the chances are they're scamming, just like these people are. Look at what this guy's talking about. We can do 3 to 4 a year maybe, or more, not sure. Let's see how it goes. Different pages, just like Stock College, just different name and brand. I will post daily content on those like I do here. Grow organic following and people, then cash out when I do a fundraise. So again, they post a ton of content and they say, guys, I'm starting a fund. I'm going to make all this money. You're going to make 200%. You're going to make 500%. And they steal it. And here's where we're going to see a post from Stocks College of this scam in action. So they put up these stories. This is Stocks College. Almost full. Thank you to everyone who invested. And it says, I'm raising 30K to trade. And once I reach it, it's capped. Don't ask me after, please. 50-50 split on these daily profits you see on my page. So this is what he's talking about right here. $13,000, $1,000. He's talking about all these pages supposedly where he's making all this money. He's saying you could split the profits. Of course, this is all a lie. He's going to burn the account eventually, but this is how he raises the money. And he's talking here to this guy, Mr. Persuade, who they were talking about earlier about blocking. And here it says, bro, if Robert gives me my profits, I'm in. In other words, this guy's already invested and he wants to invest again, but he hasn't received his profits back. So he's saying, hey, pay me first and then I'll join your new fund that you're fundraising, right? And what do? They block the guy, as you can see. Laugh, 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 laugh. Look at these scumbags, dude. Can you imagine doing this to somebody? This looks so legit. He still can't find the scam in it. They're talking about Mr. Persuade. Trust, bro, we are crazy. And this is really insidious, okay? This is where these guys do understand psychology really well. He says, let it seem like he's the only one who hasn't received his profits. The reason why this business will hold well is the fact that each person will think that they are the only one that have problems, especially when they see you posting profits and payouts to different clients. This is sick, guys. This is how the scam works. It's gaslighting, it's fakery, it's lying. This is what they do. They're experts at it. And again, where does this thrive? On Instagram, where you don't have to be anybody to post all these profits, to say you're such a millionaire trader. They're posting fake screenshots of the trader. I mean, I don't know if I showed you guys this, but Stocks College has an image of their trader that's not actually the guy. Look at this. They say senior trader located in Toronto, Canada. No, he's not. This guy isn't real. This guy is a fake profile to lure you in. Again, it's all manipulated. It's all a fraud. And here's where the scam continues. Look at this. Every time a person is ready to pay out, I'll send them to you. So like I said, David Ferris is sort of like the end man. Stocks College is the middleman. He says, make sure to get a testimonial and everything before you block them. I can use that as content. So what they say is, before we pay you out, we need a testimonial. People naively do it, thinking that they're about to get paid out like 500%. They post it as if they paid it out and then block that person so they can't post anymore. This does two things. Like they're saying, first of all, it shows everybody else in the group, they think, oh yeah, people are getting paid out. No, they're not. Number two, it gaslights everybody thinking that they're the only one who didn't get paid out. Okay, so we're going to fast forward a little bit because some of these DMs are uninteresting. Bro, that kind of stuff. Then they start talking about burning the account. Remember, they're going to build a bunch of accounts like Stocks College and then burn them when basically they get caught, or, too many investors get burned. So David Ferris is talking to him. If you're going to burn it, it won't be now at all. Okay, I will see how it goes. I'm going to burn it in 3 or 4 months when everyone asks for a payout. I'm going to do another fundraise in between this one while I show people the investors' accounts profit. Again, they haven't actually gotten the money, but it's like allegedly what's in their account. It's a big Ponzi scheme. Then this David Ferris hatches an idea. Pay one or two of them $2K and collect videos and screenshot and post it up. So then this guy's kind of getting it. He goes, oh, so whoever didn't get in will get in. Yes, they will invest again and bring more friends. Oh yeah? So it's almost like an undetectable Ponzi scheme. Plan your date and then pay investors who invested little. It's a small price to pay for the big gain since the other investors will be willing to pay the commission. So again, this is kind of diabolical. What they're saying is anybody who invested a little, like $100, maybe they're promising like 2,000% returns, something crazy like that. You actually pay them out the 2K that they're owed, collect videos, and then attract new investors. This is diabolical. And why this is important to note is that you may find an Instagram account that's supposedly paying out investors, that supposedly has real testimonials, right? You don't know that they're not doing this behind the scenes, right? Secretly only paying out a few, burning everybody else to try to keep the Ponzi scheme going. A lot of people do that, especially scammers on Instagram. And again, look at how gleeful these people are. There's no morality here at all. There's no thought of we're ripping people off, we're ruining people's lives. Look at this. They're just so happy about it. We are controlling the narrative by having multiple outs. Nice. You're smart as hell. Perfect, man. One guy gave me $100. I'll give him $300. And they're laughing. Again, guys, this is a sickness affecting people who, number one, they might not have other prospects in life. Maybe that's why they feel the need to scam. But I think the other part of it is they watch how little of this stuff is prosecuted. How much does Instagram crack down on these accounts? Almost none. How much does Instagram take accountability for these actions or report them to law enforcement? Almost none. So when this happens, they're not scared. Look at this. They're just gleeful. Okay, thanks, bro. You're the guy helping me. You're my only partner, so good job. We have a huge future. And that's basically it, actually. That's about where the conversation ends. So I hope you learned something. Let me know what you think in the comments below about content like this. I really enjoyed getting into the minds of these people. And tomorrow, we will not only be getting into the minds of this person, we are actually contacting him. I confronted David Ferris FX. He deleted his account, but I contacted his WhatsApp number, and I just wanted to talk. Thanks for watching. And as always,
don't forget to smash like.
He's like, oh, so have you joined the Closer in Black program? Because, you know, this guy's basically like, yeah, I want to hire you. He basically structured it in such a way, whereas if you join the inner circle, you're going to get hired. It was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. His YouTube videos are not even comparable to how shitty his like stuff is. You know, how you should have a sexual relationship with money.
What? What? Hey guys, welcome to Fake Guru. Today we have another special edition. We're having another interview with a former high-ticket closer course person who's going to give his testimonial. His name is Joel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
Tell us a little bit about how you got into the thing. Tell us when you were in high-ticket closer.
Yeah. So I recently got a job in sales. I was doing really well, man. I think I made like $8,000 my first month. And that was really good for me. I was like, shit, man. Like, you know, a kid that grew up on welfare and food stamps, you hand him $8,000, you're like, damn, what the hell's going on? And then the next month, though, it crashed really bad. I only did like 4,000.
What were you selling? Cars?
Oh, water softeners.
Okay.
Yeah. And and I was like, oh shit, what's going on, man? So I figured, okay, something's happening, right? Because it was my first time in sales. I didn't have any sales experience. So I started going on YouTube, looking up, okay, how to get good at sales and whatnot. That's when I found people like Grant Cardone, and I found Dan Locke. And so I started watching his videos, you know, the whole, the Bentley or the Hyundai thing, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to be do you want to be Bentley in your industry, or you want to be the Hyundai?
I'm done with the Hyundai.
Correct. And I am the fucking Bentley.
And of course, me not knowing really anything, like I'm good at sales for some reason. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like you have a kid that's good at art, but he doesn't know why he's good. He's just good at it. I just happen to be good at sales. So I didn't know that was, you know, bullshit. I was like, okay, I mean, I fucking guess. And so I started, yeah, right? And so I started watching his videos for a couple months and whatnot. And then I guess he released something called Dan on Demand, which is like a monthly subscription service.
What's it called?
Like
Say that again.
Dan on Demand. Yeah. and it's like a monthly subscription service. It's like $50 or whatever. And I was like, and at the time, right, this is before I knew anything about marketing or anything like that. And it's a ClickFunnels page, which, by the way, I don't know how the hell anyone using ClickFunnels makes money. That looks so scammy. I really don't.
So scammy.
I thought, dude, I mean, ClickFunnels, like the web pages, I'm like, shit, man, like, is it gonna go to some bank account, like, in China or something? I don't know. Anyhow, I was like, I didn't buy it because I'm like, oh hell no, this looks hella sketchy. And then YouTube and Facebook is like, okay, well, they keep spitting me a bunch of gurus like, hey, learn how to double your sales. You know what I'm talking about? You see the Facebook ads.
Oh yeah.
And so I started clicking on all of them just to see. And it was, the same ClickFunnels stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just some industry standard thing I don't know about, right? Maybe people, selling informational programs don't know, how to make their stuff not look scammy. So I decided to go for the Dan on Demand thing. I paid the $50 for the month just to see what it was like. Yeah, it was a massive disappointment. It was like, it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. I'm like, I think I need to get a refund. Like, oh my gosh. It was basically him uploading all of his YouTube videos and then a few, it was 4 live calls he made, if they were even live.
They weren't even live.
Of him just talking about copywriting and money and how you should have a sexual relationship with money. Just fucking weird, right?
What? What? A sexual relationship with money?
Yeah. So I can't quote it exactly, but it's something like, you need to think of money like a lover. Imagine if you tell your lover, I hate you, or I don't need you. That lover's not going to want to be with you. So you need to treat money like your lover. Just I'm not joking.
He's for real.
Man.
He's for real.
I was like, I'm sorry, what?
He's for real about that. He means that.
For real? Well, I don't know. I mean, he said in the live call, so I assume he's for real. Who knows? But he really likes money, I can tell you that much. And yeah, I remember one of his things was it was like the high ticket closer program he was advertising. And had to do a bunch of role plays with his people and whatnot. And I thought, oh, okay, this actually seems pretty legit. Let me look into it. And then I looked into it and it was like $2,500. I'm like, oh, that seems a little bit high. Because I don't have a point of reference. You know what I mean? Like, I've never bought any kind of informational products in my life.
Right.
So I had no, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a point of reference. If you don't know, you don't know, right? That's how the timeshare people get you. And I decided to go for it eventually. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll look into it. I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, Dan on Demand was such a shit product.
Dude, I don't know how you thought it was going to get better.
Well, the thing is, I just didn't know. I didn't know that there were other sales programs out there. It was I think it was before Grant Cardone started really advertising and doubling down and whatnot.
Right.
But anyway, I went for it. And it was he said, oh, it's going to be live training and whatnot. And I thought, oh, okay, cool. So I went through it, and the first 2, because it's once a week, right? It's it's a 7-week the HTC is a 7-week program. And once a week, you get a 4-hour live call with Dan that he teaches all of his HTC people at the same time. And it's actually, you actually use Discord, crazy enough, which blew my fucking mind. I'm like, what? Discord? It's supposed to be a professional society. You want to go on the site that's literally just anime, video games, and porn? Okay, yeah, sure, I guess, whatever. And I know, right? It's crazy. I was like, wait, Discord? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking maybe Slack. Now, okay, Discord, sure. And it was basically just mindset training for the first 2 weeks. I don't even remember what it was. Just a bunch of horse shit. Stuff you'd find in a Tony Robbins book, except, 4 hours of it. And then he started getting into the actual sales training.
Oh, I want to mention something just for people who don't know. When you think of Dan Lok, if you've seen his YouTube videos, you think of this really high-produced thing, something with beautiful graphics and this beautiful. That is not the case with the HTC. Tell people what you get for your $2,500. You get. I'm not making this up, okay? You get
there's an app or something. It's called Zoom. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like a Skype clone, whatever the hell. And it's a fucking, it's not even like high produced shit. It's him literally just saying, hey people, HTC here, yeah. And it's an image of just Dan's face. It's just an image of Dan's face right there like that. Just pictures, just fucking pictures, right? I was expecting, okay, maybe, they're going to be live like a podcast. No, it's basic. You could literally not even look at the screen and know what's going on. It's literally just that. It's basically a podcast, except you don't even get the visuals, right? Even lower than Joe Rogan, and you pay $2,500 for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's it. And I was like, okay, because but again, I've never done anything self-help before.
No point of reference.
Right, like I did not have a point of reference. I didn't know the mindset stuff he gave me, even though it was extremely basic. I didn't know, so I went with it, And throughout the entire, like from day one, he's like, "There's no refunds. You don't get refunds here. You don't get refunds here."
He says that. He actually says that.
Yeah, day one, you don't get refunds. No refunds. I don't do refunds. I was like, okay, whatever, right? Wow. I paid for the train. Like I didn't plan on getting a refund anyhow, so I didn't think of it at the time. And then week 3 comes along, and he starts teaching actual sales stuff, and he teaches this really shitty method. It's called personality-based sales.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
All I know is that he asks way too many questions. He turns everything into a stupid question.
I'll get into that in just a second. So, okay. So he teaches you, there's like 4 main personality types, right? There's emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and pearls. Pearls are, really quiet people that like to bond with you. It's that personality type. Sapphires are like, Logan Paul or, Jake Paul, that kind of personality. Emeralds would be much like an engineer, something like that. And rubies would be like a cutthroat businessman, like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank or whatever. And he's like, this is how you close these people. When he talks, like, okay, emeralds, they like to just see numbers. That's it. Nothing else. Don't even worry about that shit. And then he gets into just a bunch of bullshit questions. So a damn lot. Okay. So the other stuff, right? Everything else is dealing with objections and all that. But that's like the main focus of the program. So let's talk about the Dan Locke questions. So he's like, okay. So, all right.
I already know where you're going with it. I love it, dude. Go.
Okay. So typically in a real sales scenario, there's the initial greeting.
Yeah.
There's qualifying questions.
Mm-hmm.
There's the pitch, and then there's the close, and then objection handling at the end, right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I did the sales job. That's exactly what you do. Yeah.
That's what you do. There's nothing else. Anything else is bullshit. But again, a guy who's a natural born salesman that doesn't actually know why he's good didn't know that. So all he does is he's like, okay, just ask a bunch of questions. Like ask about the family. Ask about, what they like to do for fun. Ask, how it would affect their kids if they bought the product or whatever it was. He's like, just ask a billion questions and whatnot. Just keep asking questions and whatnot. He does not teach you how to pitch a product. Does not teach you how to pitch anything. He's like, we don't do sales. We close. And,
what? And that is the kind of stuff that you can believe if you've never done sales before. But the second you do sales, you understand what kind of garbage that is. Look,
right.
And for the people who don't know, like what I'm talking about, you can go watch my video about Dan Locke's like fake sales calls. But literally the way he handles like basic things, and it's so clear that he's not a sales guy. Someone will be like, "Hey Dan, like, look, I'm just worried about the cost. Can we bring the cost down?" And he'll be like, "Well, let me ask you, why are you worried about the cost?" Well, and the person will be like, "Well, dude, it's just a lot of money." And he goes, "Why is it a lot of money?" "Well, dude, I mean, it's just a lot of money for me. Like, can you just please, like, can we lower the price here?" "Well, how would you feel if..." And it's just, he never gets to an answer. I can't imagine how frustrating as a customer that would be to never hear a straight answer to anything and always be like having it reversed. It's like playing the reverse card in Uno. It's like reverse.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what he teaches, right? So, like, I think it's week 5 or 6. I'm not quite sure. And he's like, we're going to teach you how to handle objections. And then, okay, and I'm not joking, right? So it's like How he did it was this. He puts an objection on the screen like, I need to think about it. And then we're going to say, ooh, like everybody say that in Discord, go, ooh. And you can hear everybody just going, ooh, it's an objection. And he's like, now what you want to do? You want to be like Wata. And he's like, because he loves Bruce Lee, by the way. Dude loves Bruce Lee. If Bruce Lee was a girl, he'd be all up in that. Like, no joke. So basically, he's like, like in Jeet Kune Do, they teach you the finger jab. You jab them in the eye, and that's how you win every fight. And I was like, I was like, okay, that seems kind of bullshit. I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor would knock your fucking ass out if you tried that. But okay, whatever. You know, a lot of martial arts is bullshit anyhow. So, and then he's like, so if anyone ever gives you an objection, you finger jab it, you redirect. That's what you do. So he's like, I need you to think about it. Okay, cool. You know, I learned the Jordan Belfort straight line system, so I don't even know how to like handle objection shittily now. But we're like, oh, I think you're a bit too young. Okay, how old would you like someone to be? Just stupid stuff like that.
Is that when you start realizing that this is a bunch of garbage?
I realized it was a bunch of bullshit when I started applying it to my real job. And I couldn't close anything. It does not work in real life. It only works under a very specific occasion. They already want to buy the product, and they're calling you because they just have some concerns like, oh, can you come off the price a little bit? Or what exactly is in the program? Because, you know, the shitty ClickFunnels thing that took me here is really, you know, sketchy and whatnot. I want to talk to somebody.
Tell me about the hire thing. They promised you a job or whatever.
So let's talk about the hiring part, right? Do you know how they said, okay, well, if you put in a lot of hours, we'll hire you and whatnot?
Right.
Okay, so basically, there's like in 8th class, he's like, oh, if we have good attendance, we'll get a special 8th class. It's just him hyping everybody up. But, you know, because again, you know, you have an emotional connection with this dude. Because, you know, you've been with this guy role-playing for like 7 weeks straight.
Right.
You know, but like it's like a cult almost. You know, it's almost like you've been brainwashed for 7 fucking weeks, or 8 at this point. And, you know, he's like, okay, I want you guys to join my inner circle. If you can't afford it, you need to buy it. It's like $2,100 to join the inner circle.
Wait, he says if you can't afford it, you need to buy it.
That's exactly why you need to buy it, because you can't afford it. And, you know, all right, okay, right, because typically you'd be like, oh, what fucking idiot would fall for that, right? But again, if you've already established an emotional connection with someone, it's a lot easier to seep in, right?
Yeah.
It's like the cult's like, here, just wear these clothes. It's fine, whatever. You know, it's that what is it, the foot in the door phenomenon? You ask for a little bit every single time, and eventually it works up like that. He pretty much shames people into joining his inner circle program.
Right.
It's like $2,100 and then $200 a month on top of that every single time to stay in his inner circle. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm devoted to this. I'm going to go for it. And so I bought it. $2,100 came out of my pocket. Stupid. Dumb decision. Dumb fucking decision. And
well, no, now it's great because now you can tell everybody at home all about it. We can hear all about it.
I go on YouTube, so yeah, they're definitely going to hear about this part. And and so it basically gives you access. So I think there's like a web service or something where like all these people you can go online to their courses and whatnot. They'll use the same video format. Anyhow, it takes you to another like website that has the inner circle stuff. There's like a whole bunch of videos, like, you know, goal setting, just super basic shit, man. You can literally find it a $10 audiobook. But I didn't know, unfortunately. So I'm like, this is really, I was like, man, like we're talking lower quality than the HTC program, this inner circle is. Like, it's like way more fucking expensive.
Okay, this is something people don't understand, how this works, how the quality actually gets worse. Like Dan Locke's incentive is to make all the free stuff actually the nicest stuff, because he's trying to sell you on the fact that he's going to give you great stuff, and he keeps promising you the world. But when you've actually paid, all of a sudden he has no incentive to make that course better. I mean, except for testimonials like this.
No, yeah, that's a good point. His YouTube videos are not even comparable to how shitty his like stuff is. Like, not even comparable. Like, he even has his old YouTube videos. If you go back and look at his old videos, it's just him, giving a speech or whatever. Like, what are they called? Like masterclass.
Masterminds, yeah.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is. It's just him talking and whatnot. And the quality is like, 480p and whatnot. Man, it's even worse than that, dude. It's awful. Oh, yeah, and what was this thing? Okay, yeah. Let me get on with the story. It was right. So I'm like, damn, this is really shitty fucking quality. But, and during the 8th class, he literally says, yeah, no, we're going to hire you. We're going to do this kind of stuff. He's basically like selling us a job. Is basically what he's doing.
So he's essentially like hinting to you, oh, we're going to have you on. We hire our high ticket closers, that kind of thing?
Yeah. We hire people from our inner circle. So, no, I mean, it took me a while to figure it out, but he basically structured in such a way, whereas if you join the inner circle, you're going to get hired.
So everyone thinks to themselves, oh, I like this guy. I would love working with this guy.
Exactly. Okay, so anyhow, my group leader contacts me on Facebook, right? He's like, hey, because we have weekly, like groups and whatnot. And he contacts me and says, hey, someone from the inner circle wants to get in contact with you, Joel. And I was like, oh shit, this is awesome, man. This is really, really cool. I was like, dude, I'm going to get hired. This is freaking awesome, because I joined the inner circle. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm going to make so much. I'm going to do really good here. I'll make more money. And then the dude contacts me. He's like, yeah, let's do an hour, call, role play. And he just basically interviews me for an hour. We don't actually get to role play. He's like, oh, let's schedule another appointment and do it again. All right, but yeah, no, I'm really just based on the way you talk to me. I think I want you on my sales team.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then this part right here. This is what tipped me over the edge. Because, this guy's basically like, yeah, I want to hire you and whatnot. And he's,
right.
He's officially associated with Dan Locke. He's not just some dude. He's like officially there, like in the upper ranks. So he's like, oh, so have you joined the Closer in Black program? Which is like, I talked about MLM stuff. So, there's like a giant conference in Vancouver or whatever that Dan Locke has. It's called Closers in Black, and they all wear black suits.
Oh no! This closer thing is so cringy, dude. Like the high ticket closer.
It's so bad. And so what happens, right? And the guy's like, "So have you joined it yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna go." He's like, "Yeah, you need to go." But this dude's about to hire me, right? I'm like, "Shit, it looks really bad if I don't go." You know what I mean? Like he might decide against me.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Huh?
No, I totally understand. You're thinking he might not think I'm devoted enough.
Right. And he basically shamed me into doing this thing. And guess how much it costs to just go to this fucking dinner? Just take a wild guess.
I don't know, like $200.
Yeah, about $250. And I was like, I don't want to fucking pay that, but hell, you know what?
You've already sunk $4,000 in at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, well, shit, if this guy does give me a job and I start making money, it's not going to matter, right? It's not going to matter. And then he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, we have a VIP upgrade if you want it. Fucking upsell. This dude fucking upsells me. And then it's like an extra $100. And I'm like, dude, I really don't want to fucking go. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, fine. Just do it. Let's get it over with. Like, that's okay, fine, whatever. He's like, okay, cool. And this was around December time when this happened. He's like, all right. So I think I'm going to be starting the sales team sometime in January. I'll let you know then. I was like, okay, cool. January comes around. He's like, yeah, I decided against it. I'm not going to hire you on. And I was fucking pissed. Like, I was livid. I'm like, he's like, we can still role play though if you want, because I did promise you that. I'm like, I was so fucking mad. I sent support an email because he has HTC support. I said I want a refund now for the inner circle program, because like that, that's fucked up. To basically, to have Dan Locke say, oh yeah, we're gonna hire you, and someone contacts you and then sells you more shit and then doesn't hire you. I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
okay.
that's terrible.
That I was like, that's bad. Like that is really messed up. And then I waited a couple days. They never got back to me. Oh, by the way, I'll get into how they don't respond to refunds very well. And
Of course they don't. Of course they don't.
And then I was like, no, you know what? So I contacted Chase. I said, look, I got scammed. I'm going to refund on the intercloser program right now. Like I disputed the charge. And no joke, the day, like, because they said, okay, it's going to take, 5 to 7 business days to get through or whatever. After about 5 days, I got an email from HTC support. Oh, hot fucking damn. It's like, hey, can you not dispute the charge? We'll just give you the refund. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, because it's on a recurring payment, whatever. They say you need to not dispute the charge so we can cancel that recurring payment. And I was like, okay, fine. So I undid the charge, told them about it, and they didn't give me my money back. But it took me having to call my fucking bank for an hour, disputing the damn charge, and it was just, oh god, it's so shit. Like, fucking.
They make it like pulling teeth to get a refund.
Oh yeah. I think there's a few things I wanted to talk about when I say group leaders and.
Group leaders, MLM, and the seafood. I actually have heard about the seafood thing from. I talked to this other guy, Colin, and I just heard about it in general. It's like so weird that he makes people call him Sifu. What the hell is up with that?
Yeah, let me go with the seafood thing. Okay, so you know how what's it called? A priest, you call him father.
Yeah.
Like it's like a title of respect, right?
Right. Of course.
Your grace for a king or whatever.
Yeah, an honorific.
Right. And like I guess Sifu means like teacher for life in Chinese or something. I guess I don't remember. I know it means teacher something in Japanese. Sorry, it's not Chinese, because he's Mandarin or whatever. And he's like, listen, if you call me Sifu, mean it. It means we'll be bonded forever. And it basically, like, a lot of his people start responding him as Sifu. I think it's Sifu. And and he just everybody just starts calling him Sifu. And he does it in such a way where he even responds to himself as Sifu when he's teaching you, by the way. He's like, yes, you want to make Sifu happy, don't you? Just like makes him happy in role play. And yeah, it's really cringy. I was like, that seems kind of weird. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, shit, that's like a fucking cult.
That's like a mind game. That's like a next level mind game. Like, I'm your teacher for life. You have to listen to me.
Right. It's like if you're, I hate to say it, the abuses in the Catholic Church, you're like, Father, why am I taking my pants off? It's like, don't worry, child. It's for God's purpose or whatever. Except in this case, Dan Locke takes your money instead. So, it's sort of like that. It's sort of like, this thing and whatnot. I never called him Sifu. I'm like, I never really liked the son of a bitch to begin with. But I was like, well, hell, if he can help me make more money, I don't care. Turns out that didn't happen. Oh, you know what? Oh, I was going to mention this. You know how you talked about on one of your Fake Gurus videos, there was a guy named Kayvon? He's in the HTC program. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I can't say anything about it. I cannot say anything about it.
I can say shit about it.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
So this motherfucker Kayvon, I did not know that he had a fake Harvard thing. And Dan Locke.
Well, let me say something real quick.
Sure.
I didn't know either. I was shocked to find Kayvon on that fake Harvard thing, and I had to put him in, and I was like, I'm not playing favorites with anybody.
Right. Yeah, and anyway, he was really associated with Dan Locke a lot.
Right.
Like fucking he was sucking his cock, like just right up his ass all the time. And this dude, shit, he okay, and then apparently about halfway through, because I was in season 7, he breaks everything into seasons, right? And season 7 comes around where I'm at. I think it was like 4 or 5. He's like, he posts, because there's like a Facebook group, the HTC Facebook family group.
Yep.
He calls it HTC family Facebook group, by the way. Yeah, because it's a family, right? Family that, you know, takes your money. And, you know, he basically says, you know, warning, warning, we have an announcement. There's a serious problem. There's betrayal in the family and whatnot. I guess, you know, I know, right? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, right? It's like, you know, on Facebook, you can pin it at the top.
Gather around seafood to find out what the problem in the family is.
There's a serious problem, like a serious update. I guess the Kayvon dude, like, was recruiting HTC students or something like that. And he made it this big fucking deal. Like, he is excommunicated from our family. No one will make contact with him at all. Like, basically, like, disowning him from the family and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, by the way, just for everybody watching, that Kayvon dude was associated with HTC for, like, a long time. The guy who fakes Harvard stuff. So keep that in mind if you still want to consider buying HTC. These are the kind of people Dan Locke associates with. I know you can't say anything. I can say stuff.
I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
And he's not going to sue me. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. Yeah, that's a seafood thing. What was some other stuff like MLM or whatever?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, one funny thing that like is the line that I'm always balancing on is like the people don't realize. So people like, I think some people look at what I do and they're like, why hasn't anyone, there aren't that many people like calling these people out. And they're kind of shocked. They're like, wait, this does seem real sketchy. Why aren't people calling them out? It's because they all get sued. These people all just sue the people who criticize them. Like that's the thing. And you got to be really careful. And now I have like insurance, literally just for that. I pay like pretty good money for insurance.
Wow.
But anyways, it's still, you don't want to get, it's just a nightmare if you get sued. But like these people, they'll sue to shut you up. And they'll send you like these cease and desist letters. They'll say, hey, stop talking about my name or else. And you could even win the lawsuit, but then you end up losing a bunch of money. So just for people, if sometimes I'm kind of a little careful with my words or whatever, just know that's why. It's not because it's my opinion that these guys are legit in any way, but I can't say anything.
Yeah, it's why he's letting me say stuff, because he can't. And believe me, I will, because I hate this dude. Oh yeah, I think it was like group leaders they talked about.
Yep.
All right. So to make it look more like an MLM. Oh, by the way, in the Inner Circle program, he encourages you to do affiliate marketing to try and sell HTCs. Like, I'll give you $500 for every program you sell. For everyone that signs up with HTC under your link, you get $500. So, you know, if you guys want to make some extra money, you can get people to join HTC.
That is like a pyramid scheme. That's like an MLM at that point.
Yeah, but he didn't mention that. Like, you know, I mean, he didn't mention it until you got to the Inner Circle. Then he started talking about the affiliate links. But yeah, anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, group leader. So in the very beginning, when you first sign up, you join a group. And it's a group of like, I think 6 or 7 other students, and then one group leader, someone who is one of his trusted Inner Circle members. Or someone who paid, you know, $2,100 and $200 a month to join his program or whatever. And in these groups, he's like, okay, guys, so you actually have throughout the HTC program, you actually have assignments that he wants you to complete. And the group leader makes you like a Google Sheets page. And it's all the points. It's like if you watch the program live, you get 4 points. If you watch the replay, you get 3 points. There's like 10 points a week you got to go through. And you have to get 50 points total or else you don't graduate from the HTC program.
Right.
Anyhow, these group leaders, they basically have like weekly conference calls with you. And they're like, oh, how's role play going? How's this? Basically, you know, hey, I'm here to support you. Please don't get a refund. You know, and something like that. And these group leaders, you know, he's just there basically like a multi-level marketing thing. You know, you have like a group leader trying to like encourage you to stay in it and whatnot, so that way they can, you know, upsell you to the Inner Circle program and whatnot. And in fact, my group leader was a real, like, he seemed like a nice dude up until it was time to join the Inner Circle program. And it was really fucked. Now, I was fortunate because I had money. You know, I was making money at my job in sales. I was already making. But this one guy, I feel bad for him. I don't want to say his name, but he worked at a gas station and he had like a sick mom at home. His mom was like sick and unable to work. but he somehow, scrounged together $2,500 to join the HTC program. And I was like, oh, okay, he's trying to make a better life. And then, this really fucking, I didn't want to say anything because, like, it's that whole, it's like sketchy and whatnot. But the guy's like, oh yeah, the gas station guy's like, oh, I really want to join the Inner Circle program, but like he's like, I spent my life savings on the HTC program, and then the group leader, he says, okay, Callum, I think PayPal has like credit loans you can take. And
No.
Yes, he had them, and then his what's it called? And apparently PayPal didn't give him enough. So it's from the UK, and I'm not sure how their banking system works, but I think you can approve for financing immediately there. And he financed like $2,000 at like 20% interest or something like that. And like, the group leader was just encouraging him to do it. Like, fuck, man. I was like, damn, that's really fucked. Even at the time.
Dude, that's not right, man. There's like, there can be such a thing as like selling with some ethics. If you know someone can't afford it, you don't sell them a $2,000 course while their mom's sick.
And then $200 a month on top of that. And this kid, and I mean, you know what? I actually tried to before doing this, actually, after watching that one guy's last testimony, I tried reaching out to him, and he won't respond to me. He won't talk to me. Like, he doesn't update his status or anything. I'm like, damn. Like,
I hope he's all right.
I know. Like, they fucked this kid's life up pretty bad. Like,
that's why like I really believe in getting these like testimonials out there and just talking about, fake gurus, is because at the end of the day, where the rubber meets the road is you have desperate people who don't know any better, who sometimes can't afford it, being upsold endlessly for what?
Exactly.
It's also, I mean, is it just so that Dan can ride in his Bentley? Like, what is it for?
I don't know. Well, again, I mean, he has a sexual relationship with money, so maybe that has something to do with it. My God, I remember hearing that. I'm like, man, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Like what? What do you mean you want to think of money like a lover? That's weird. You're weird, man. But yeah, maybe that's what it is. You just get so greedy to the point where you just don't care anymore. And yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think is that about it?
I think that's about it, dude. This is going to be a hell of a fake guru. Go ahead. You have something else to say?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, dude. Let's make that the final thing. Let's see it.
Yeah, real fast. So here it is. You can see there's a lot of dust on it, right? Okay, so basically at the end, Dan pretty much says, okay, I'm going to make you guys do a test one. I don't make you, but if you do, I really want you guys to do it. Make Seafood proud and give me a good testimony. And he's like, I'll give you guys a really nice t-shirt, like a really, really high quality t-shirt if you do. Like, he's like, and they, because he's talking with all of his friends, right? That's how it does it, right? And I got the t-shirt. Now, when a multi-millionaire says, I'm going to give you guys an extremely high quality t-shirt, what do you think of? Would you say, I was thinking like, okay, maybe like Ralph Lauren or Gucci or something like that.
For sure. I mean, it's the high ticket closer. You want to, I mean, this is the closers in black, baby.
Right. I was thinking like, yeah, you know what we get? Gildan.
Of course.
Gildan. The stuff that, high schools and colleges give out as promotional shit. You know what? That should tell you the quality of this program right there. Fucking Gildan with an HTC sticker on it. That actually is the HTC program. It's a Gildan shirt. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, here it is. The fucking t-shirt. You can see it right there. You can see Gildan. This is the shirt the dude gives out. You can see HTC right there.
Oh, no.
The high quality HTC shirt he gives out. This is his fucking brand.
That's what you paid $2,500 for.
And that's about it. I mean, that's all I can remember off the top of my head.
I do appreciate you coming on, seriously. I mean, it means a lot. And I think a lot of people are going to find a lot of value in this, man. If we can just have one person kind of get a better perspective on HTC, if it's right for them, I think they can use this interview.
It's not right for you. It's not.
Okay.
No, trust me. Literally, it's not. You're not even getting any value. Read a Tony Robbins book. You can literally buy any college textbook. It teaches you the same stuff. It's like $200 on Amazon.